Algebra 2, Lesson 21, Scientific Notation, Two Statements of Equality. We'll be starting with example 21.1 to simplify a fraction written in scientific notation. So over here on our work paper, the first step, like most algebra problems, is to rewrite the problem. So starting with the numerator, we have to rewrite these in true scientific notation, which means we have to move some decimal points. This one we move it to the right 4 spaces. So if we move it to the right, we subtract from the exponent. So we subtract 4 from the exponent of 6. That gives us 3 times 10 to the power of negative 10. Then we're going to take this decimal, we're going to move it to the left 3 spaces, so we're going to be adding 3, so that becomes 4 times 10 to the power of positive 3. The denominator to the right again, 3 spaces. That gives us 6 times 10 to the power of 12 after we subtract 3. And this one we're moving to the left 3 spaces. That gives us 2 times 10 to the power of 7 after we add 3. Next, we just have to separate the whole numbers in the tens. We'll do that off to the side over here. So we have 3 times 4 over 6 times 2. And then for the exponents, we have, we can combine these. Negative 10 and 3 give us 10 to the power of negative 7. 12 and 7 give us 10 to the power of 19. From here we can cancel 2 and 4 become 1 and 2. 3 and 6 also become 1 and 2. And then 2 and 2 both cancel to become 1. So our final whole number is just going to be 1 times 10 to whatever these two exponents combine to. So we'll take the 19, move it to the numerator. Becomes 10 to the negative 19. Negative 19 and negative 7 add up to negative 26. And that is our final answer. Now we'll be moving to two statements of equality, starting with practice A. They tell us the ratio of two numbers is 4 to 5, and their sum is 108. So we can turn this ratio into an equation, and then we can turn their sum into an equation. So we'll start with the ratio of 4 to 5, and we'll use a proportion. We'll make that equal to our two numbers. We'll call the first number A. The second number we'll call B. So number A is to B as 4 is to 5. We just set up a proportion. From here we cross multiply to rewrite the proportion into an equation. So we get 5A equals 4B. Then it also tells us that their sum is 108. So we'll use that information to write another equation. Sum being addition, we just A plus B equals 108. From here we're going to substitute to solve. If I keep A on this side and I subtract a B from each side, I get A equals 108 minus B. I can take this value and substitute it into this equation up top. So then I get 5 times 108 minus B. Instead of writing number A, we're substituting that value, equals 4B. We now have a system with only one unknown, which can be solved. We use distributive property. 5 times 108, 540. So we get 540 minus 5B equals 4B. From here we just separate the unknown by adding 5B to each side. We get 9B equals 540. Divide each side by 9. And then we get B equals that. Actually, 9 goes into 54 6 times. We know that through multiplication tables. And so 9 becomes 1, 54 becomes 6. We tack our 0 onto the 6, and then we just get 60 over 1, which is 60. So B equals 60. If B equals 60, we can plug that value back up to this equation. So we'll write A plus 60 equals 108. Subtract 60 from each side. And then we get 48. So A equals 48. B equals 60. Now the last problem is actually simpler than this. It reads that the sum of two numbers is 136 and their difference is 50. Sum being addition, difference being subtraction. We can just write two equations like this. We'll say the sum, since it adds up to 136, A plus B equals 136, and then the difference will just be the exact opposite. A minus B equals 50. Okay, from here, you should be able to notice that we can immediately eliminate the b since they're same coefficient and opposite signs. So we'll add these two equations. We get 2a. The b's cancel, so then 2a is going to equal 186. Divide each side by 2, and we get a equals 93 over 1. So if a equals 93, we can take that information and plug it into either one of these. We'll plug it into this one. So if a minus b equals 50, so 93 minus b equals 50. Scribble that out. Go ahead and add b, subtract 50, subtract 50. B's cancel, 50's cancel. 93 minus 50 gives me 43, so 43 equals B. And 93 equals A. There we go.